Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Hookshot!
Yeah, it's Hookshot.
I hate whiskey.
It's delicious.
Well, hello, internet performance artists. Welcome to Trailer Trash, the show where we drink way too much alcohol. And
Talk trailers.
today we are going to have a sequel.
Yes, our first sequel. This is Great Trailers 2.
Dose!
This is a double sequel.
Double sequel.
We're having a pair of guests
For
the entire show.
Oh my god, there's so many twos, I can't keep up.
It's quite the episode.
Who are our guests?
Our guests are a pair of brothers. I have worked with both of these guys. Both of them are working right now at Saturday Night Live as editors.
Saturday Night Live.
SNL.
I've heard of that show.
And you've worked with them before. You worked with Sean at least.
I worked with Sean back at our days at Above Average Productions.
They're also filmmakers. They're great dudes. Ryan and Sean McIlraith, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
What's up, guys?
What's
Thanks
up,
for
guys?
having us.
We're excited to drink with you and talk trailers.
Yes, excellent. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's literally what we're here for. So let's do those things.
Sean and Ryan, as is customary. What are you guys drinking?
We're whiskey guys.
Drinking some bourbon. I've got Kings County peated bourbon.
I am drinking a Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Hold on, Matthew.
And Dave is currently pouring his.
I'm just having another homemade Tom Collins, already kind of partially drunk.
Dave doesn't like corporations, but I don't have any problem.
I say no to corporations.
Well, as this is Great Trailers, we are going to talk about the following trailers, starting with.
Dave, that much you have to drink.
We've been drinking.
We're going to start with.
Dr. Strangelove,
Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
which we have referenced twice this season, so we figured now's the time. Let's show you this trailer. Let's talk about it.
Then we're going to talk about our guest's pick.
Ari Aster's classic horror film, Hereditary.
One of our favorite movies.
I do like your use of the word classic for a film that's less than, 3 years old at this point?
I think deservedly.
And then we're going to finish it off with my personal pick, Madeline's Madeline.
Yes.
Before we get
Yes,
into
of
these
course.
trailers, please, in the description below on the YouTubes, as they say, please look at these trailers before we watch them, so when we talk about them, you are on the same page as us when we make our very eloquent, specific points. You know what the hell we're talking about.
Get caught up. Shall we?
Shall we get to it?
Gentlemen, you want to join us for a toast to evil?
Did you say too evil?
To evil.
Too evil.
Too evil.
Evil.
Toast, fellas.
What's the too evil?
I said it once during Fast 5, and it kind of caught on.
Gentlemen,
To evil.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. This is an assault on the senses.
Stanley Kubrick put himself in the trailer.
It's very aggressive with the cuts immediately.
Not recommended for those with epilepsy.
Yes, indeed.
It's almost hard to read it.
Oh,
I love the
Little
hits.
reverb there.
Yeah.
What is that, a xylophone?
the Doomsday Machine.
It's
This
insane.
is like an assault on our senses.
Yeah, it's very assaulty. It's more than a pinch of assault.
Should I get it?
On the hotline.
Nice.
Thank you.
I believe in the biz we would call this a tight edit. It's very tight.
And
Love the bomb. A moving picture.
I appreciate the reading of that.
It looks like we're in a shooting war.
Oh, hell. All the Russians involved, sir?
This is a weird fucking trailer.
So this is a great frame,
And
though.
all of a sudden now we're seeing full scenes play out.
This is clearly a Kubrick movie from just the visuals.
You know, he started as a photographer.
Of course.
Not many people know that.
That's not true at all.
You IMDb'd that,
You
didn't
can't just make shit up, man. See it Monday, or a week from Thursday, or Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Saturday, or Monday. Well, that's a pretty intense trailer, and
It
a
is.
pretty long and full trailer.
Indeed.
And it was a groundbreaking trailer as well.
A real ground breaker.
The visuals in this trailer are kind of all over the place. To start with, you get pictures of Kubrick.
This is our second Kubrick trailer. We previously talked about The Shining, and on our point about humility, in The Shining, I believe Stanley Kubrick's name showed up at least 75 times.
Roughly.
Guys, initial thoughts on your end about this?
I mean, right off the bat, I was taken by the sound design. I felt like the music kept doing hard cuts out, which I'm just so not used to in a trailer. And
Very
The
jarring,
ball's
yeah.
on Kubrick to put himself right at the top.
the ball's on Kubrick. That's who he is.
Well, this trailer was not done by Kubrick personally. He obviously supervised it, but he hired somebody, this guy named Pablo Ferro, who is a pretty famous title designer. Stanley Kubrick saw Pablo Ferro's advertisements, and he had a lot of very avant-garde, kind of unique ads in the 60s. And Kubrick approached him and said, I want you to market my film like a product. And that's what this turned into. And you can kind of see the inspiration in a lot of Ferro's old advertisements. You see the same kind of fast-cutting style, big titles on screen. It's definitely cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
It's weird too that it starts that super crazy cutting style. Like you can't even read those titles, then all of a sudden it goes into like quieter scenes
Full
all
scenes
of a sudden,
of it.
and then we're back at that crazy cutting style.
The quick cuts in this have to be kind of the first of their time, right? Like I imagine Stanley Kubrick walking into a studio head's office, showing this trailer, and them being like, we don't know.
He definitely took a very strange approach to this trailer that I'm sure was not initially pleasing to the studio.
Would you say that you love his strange approach? Perhaps it is a strange love.
You went from a 6 to a 5 with that one. This trailer and the titles that he did for this movie put Mr. Ferro on the map in terms of working in film production and working on films.
Now, when you say it, put him on the map, whereabouts? Maine? Florida? Perhaps in one of the Dakotas? Where on the map exactly did it put him?
You hear this? You hear this shit, guys? Do you see what I deal with?
We chose not to engage.
Good call.
Well, boys, I reckon this is it. Nuclear combat toe-to-toe with the Ruskies.
I want it on record that I never said I didn't like the trailer, but I think I've become so accustomed to watching trailers that make you understand what the movie is going to be and spoiling the movie, where this one was trying something totally different. It was almost cut in a way that was a little off-putting.
I think you didn't like the trailer.
I liked it. I think you're just being an asshole.
I think you thought it was okay.
Well, I mean,
I think that's part of the advertising product of it all, is that it is an assault. While it seems a little lopsided in its structure, this is a trailer that I'll remember because it is so abrasive and such an assault on the senses that it'll stick with me. And then 6 months from now, when I go to my local cinema after I get my COVID-19 vaccine, I'll be like, oh right, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love. And
You don't have to, you're not impressing anybody. You can just say Dr. Strangelove. It's cool.
Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I'd see that on the marquee, and I would say, I remember
the
that
marquee,
one.
yes,
I'll go
the
see it.
marquee.
I first became aware of it, Mandrake, during the physical act of love.
Have either of you ever edited anything similar to this, with just the really quick cuts, borderline subliminal shots?
I was thinking while watching this, I feel like I only see that sort of flash framing in music videos these days. And we've cut videos like that, and I never see that flash frame done in trailers. We've only done music videos like that.
Especially if you're doing like a trap sort of music video or something. Like the more cuts and the more energy and the more locations in terms of like building the scope of the video.
But those are more just to be cool. This is more to disorient you.
This has more purpose.
Now, when you say trap music video, is that a music video that you get inside of and then you just can't find the way out?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
No.
You don't have to make a joke out of everything, Matthew.
Yes, I do.
You can keep it inside.
No. I live my life out loud.
We know.
Dr. Strangelove. Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and
Love the bomb. A moving picture.
This is the same opening shot as the movie, and that's money for me.
Come on, Peter.
Italian chef's hand.
Chef's kiss.
Mwah.
Yeah, that was 2 shots comped.
I love the fast-moving grass here too. The sped-up grass with the normal people in the background.
Dude.
Love that cut.
Those.
It's also a cut straight from the movie.
Every transition in this trailer is so sick. Also, the way they turn that glottal snap into like a music note.
Ah, yes.
That's the
Yeah.
the glottal snap. Now that I edit more, I always cover sound edits with big sound effect hits, and that's what that just did.
Oh,
Yeah, that
So good.
that match cut right there.
fucking
So
great.
good.
He's in 2 different outfits here. The way that they match this is so good.
It's 2 different scenes put together.
I have to say, this is one of the few films with the the pull quotes where they actually are accurate.
I mean, my head didn't spin literally, but
Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Also,
How they bring in the sound of her band.
yeah, contrasting those two shots is sick.
so good.
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
I love that last line with her looking in the camera. Oh, beautiful. Very, very good.
So good.
Oh man.
Oh, that is fucking bizarre. Ooh, chilling.
I mean, there's so many stylistic things you can talk about. I mean, we already mentioned the match cuts. Not to sound like a pretentious asshole, but they're exquisite.
They really are exquisite.
I noticed they did it twice. They did it with the...
They did it like 3 times.
outside with the house, and then they did it with the sun.
Yeah, but then they did it at the end with that weird little magical thing. It's Toni Collette's face.
See, that's a bit more of a transition than a match cut though, because there is a
Not to get technical.
not to get too technical over here, but that's an editor. Because it's like a bit of a wipe. It's like a bit of a magic wipe.
But it gives you the same effect, though. The same result is gleaned after we've already seen the 2 previous match cuts. Have I out-nerded you?
No, I actually want to talk
bro.
about match cuts a little bit more. Honestly, match cuts to me are like one of my favorite things on a visceral level as an editor. For me, an effective match cut is just like, fuck yes.
That's what I love about trailers, because it's obviously like related to the film in terms of, you know, the style and the themes, but it's a completely different art form.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And also even
Agreed.
It's
like Matt, you mentioned the pull quotes. Usually I see like pull quotes in a trailer and it takes me out.
I was gonna say, like, when The Witch came out, it had a line about how this feels like something we shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, dude, this movie's gonna be sick. And then we watched it, and I was like, all right, the trailer's actually scarier than the movie. And this was a trailer that actually lined up with what the movie delivered.
I just want to jump in with a nice
Braunsdorfian fist lean. Here we go.
The fist leaning
The classic
about,
fist
about
lean.
Sir Ryan's comments about The Witch. I couldn't possibly disagree with him more.
You think The Witch was scary?
The Witch is so scary. The Witch is so scary and unsettling.
Compared to this?
All I have to say to that is, dost thou love to... Fuck!
Ah, you fucking...
Wait. Dost thou wish to live deliciously?
I think The Page Master was scarier than The Witch.
Did you just say The Page Master?
Yeah, I think that was a scarier movie than The Witch.
The most magical film of 1994.
This trailer also is a work of art in itself, in that the entire time you think it's going to be a movie about a possessed little girl. And if you've seen the movie...
Spoiler alert.
That's not what it's about.
You know she doesn't make it through the first 30 minutes.
And I have to imagine that when A24 was like, we need to cut this trailer, they were like, fuck, what are we going to do? Because we don't want to spoil the biggest shock in the whole movie.
And they didn't. They did a great job with it. I mean, because she's very prominent in this trailer. And I think that it's a good misdirect in this case. We've often talked about trailers that mislead you.
Yeah.
We talked about how the trailer for...
Gojira. Roughly the same sort of thing where they're taking one particular character and overselling the fact that they're in the movie perhaps the entire time. I would say Godzilla and Hereditary have almost the exact same surprise in regards to those characters without talking about specifics or spoilers. But the difference is this movie follows up that vacuum that's been created with something worthwhile.
Absolutely.
And fills it with something that's even scarier than we thought before.
Who's gonna take care of me? You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
I think that's why we chose this trailer too, because it's like a trope now, but it's so true. I mean, contemporary trailers, for the most part, I mean, they tell you the beginning and the middle and most of the end. Where, like, I feel like Hereditary sets a mood for you rather than really telling you the story. And that, relating it back to what Ryan was saying about the misdirect, it almost like turned that idea on its head. Like, contemporary trailers, you think you like know the movie going in, and then when you're sitting in the movie theater and you see her get her head lopped off in the first 30 minutes, you feel like you're not safe.
I think that trailer is a masterpiece. I mean, from start to finish, everything about it, the pacing, the flow.
I just think trailers like this in the contemporary world and style just don't come around often, and then live up to the hype.
This is a rare example.
Exceptional trailer, exceptional film. Stop watching the show right now. Go watch Hereditary. I'm not going to have much to say about this trailer, Dave, while we're watching it.
Yeah, it is
Incredible.
one of the boldest and most invigorating films of the 21st century. That's a pretty bold claim.
Damn, what are these transitions?
Transcendent. It looks like they took stills of the film and then printed them out and cut them out.
Yeah, was some of this shot for the trailer?
I think this was exclusively. This is entirely shot for the trailer. It's like a modern dance piece.
Wow.
It's incredible.
What the fuck?
It's really spellbinding.
I'm speechless.
Among the most original and creative performances I've seen in years.
What is this?
I love that. I just love the. Oh, okay. I wonder if that was motion graphics or if that was.
What is that about?
So ever since Dave and I started doing this show, I have wanted to talk about this trailer. And I apologize for speaking hyperbolically, but I feel like this is one of the few times that I can actually back it up. This may be the greatest trailer I have ever seen in my entire life. I think this trailer is...
That's bold.
Unbelievable.
Now,
bold, beautiful, moving, surprising. It is a work of art.
I can't think of any other trailer that really goes the extra mile the way this one does.
Yes.
Now, whether this is a accurate selling of the film itself is
Perhaps
a
I can speak to that point.
which you can also speak to. But I will agree, this is a really, really good trailer. It feels important.
Yes.
It feels like a bigger thing.
It's almost like something I feel like I would see in art school.
You can tell a lot of pre-pro went into that.
I mean, it was kind of incredible. It felt like something somebody would do at like Pratt Institute or something, like an art school. Or
Yeah,
something.
it really
It's
does.
like
Yeah.
so-
I'm going to say what the movie's actually about is...
Yeah, it
I have no idea.
Doesn't give you a clue about what the movie.
Couldn't tell you. But I'm intrigued.
I can't even say it hints at it. I wouldn't even be able to guess.
See,
No, a couple cardboard cutouts come to life. I have no idea.
So does that make it a great trailer?
My guess would be that it's about some kind of modern dance troupe or like a modern dancer, and it's like her life in the city, and you know she's practicing her art.
The broad strokes of the movie is that you have Molly Parker, who is a theater director in New York, and she is trying to come up with a new style of theater that no one's ever seen before. She meets this young actress who is not only a revelation in the film, but a revelation in the story itself.
I am the third revelation.
That she constantly starts to reform and reshape the play around this girl. And unfortunately, the trailer is nothing like the final film. The trailer in itself is a performance artist piece. However, the film itself, stylistically, is almost nothing like the trailer.
And I guess that does raise an interesting question to your point. Does that make this a good trailer? Because I think that as a piece of short form content, this is exceptional. Whether or not it does the job it's supposed to do, I guess if it gets asses in the seats, that's, I guess, what the trailer is supposed to do ultimately. Whether or not it sells the film accurately or not, I guess, is sort of secondary. I guess I'd be curious, what would you define as a great trailer? Would this fit your criteria?
I don't know if it would fit my criteria. I mean, I can't really speak too specifically to this film because I've never seen it. The trailer is incredible. It's incredible as like its own one-off piece of art.
If you look at it from the macro perspective, in the movie, you know, Helena Howard's character sort of ends up taking over the show. It almost feels like this trailer was made by her character to sell the movie about her. And in that regard, yes, it is very successful. But it's not like the movie that we're ultimately seeing.
I feel like seeing this trailer, you're hard-pressed to find anything like it.
Yeah.
And I think that alone is a selling point.
Yeah, have there been many trailers where they're shooting original content like this?
Not
Other than
modern. I mean, there's definitely a
Magnolia?
bunch of... They did that back in the 90s a lot. They did it in the 80s. But, like, nowadays, you know, you really don't get this.
You'll get examples like Paranormal Activity, which we talked a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they shot
where
in
they shot people watching the movie as the way to make the trailer. But no, I can't think of any other examples.
Yeah, offhand,
other than Madeline's Madeline, where it's a purely shot thing just for the marketing material.
Was it not this at all? Was it no cardboard cutouts, anything like that?
No.
Because that's so funny because it feels like such an inspired decision that you would think that was based off something in the film.
It feels like they hired a visual artist, right? Some sort of 2D artist who's just like the best at what they do.
Yes.
And they saw like a little short or something and was like, do that for my movie.
It's funny, they probably took a similar approach to Kubrick with Strangelove. He saw Pablo Ferro's ads and said, I want a trailer like this, like what you do.
Right.
Wow, we're coming full circle, Dave.
Thank you.
What is wrapping it up?
We're at the end, and we go back to where we started.
Hey, na, 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 na. Hey, na, 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 na.
I feel like all three trailers tonight have been like sort of their own thing. Hereditary is the one that's closest to the film, whereas I think Strangelove and this especially are like two short pieces of art that are somewhat separate from the film.
I mean, you watch the Hereditary trailer and you know exactly what you're going to get, a terrifying experience, where you watch Madeline and Dr. Strangelove and you're not exactly sure what you're going to get. Those are both experimental in their editing and in their filmmaking.
But I feel like Dr. Strangelove was more tongue-in-cheek in terms of like how it presented itself. So you almost like understand that it's going to be a little bit of like a punk tongue-in-cheek.
Yes.
Where this, I couldn't even tell you what this is going to be. It feels like almost like a cool music video, like a Spike Jonze music video.
Now, does it make you want to see the film?
I'm interested for
I think
sure.
I'm intrigued. If it came on Stars one day, I'd probably pop it on.
You have stars?
Nah.
Well, guys, that's the ball game.
A truly exciting episode, as is usual.
Big thanks to Ryan and Sean.
Thanks for having us, guys. Trailers are their own art form, so we're glad you're, you do a whole show about it.
Someone's got to do it. And if not us, I guess a bunch of other channels may do it.
At some point, Steven Spielberg will see our show and he'll say, you should come to my house. Spielberg!
Spielberg's going to watch the show and say, hey, cut the trailer for Ready Player 5.
And I'll say, you got it.
You got it, boss.
Can I ask you guys one question?
Please.
Who did better?
Yeah, who's better?
Oh, Jesus. That's a...
Ryan or Sean?
I'm letting Matt feel this one.
Sean's glasses did a great job, but not as great as Sean's shirt, which looks to me from this perspective like the Millennium Falcon.
You mean Ryan's shirt?
Shut up. How dare you correct me? I'm going to give it to Sean. I'm going to give it to Ryan. I'm losing track.
Oh, my goodness. Do you know who you're talking about at this
No,
point?
I'm going to give it to Ryan. I'm going to give it to Ryan because Ryan found the way to my heart with both the Page Master and...
That's fair.
Stars. So, Sean, you and I have the existing relationship, but Ryan and I are now bosom buddies.
Ryan came in hot, I gotta say. He fucking brought some...
I read up on you, man.
All right, so Dave, what's your opinion?
Dave, don't fuck this up.
I did appreciate your thoughts. I thought you were really eloquent, Sean. I thought Ryan had some humor that he brought to he brought a little anger, which I thought was kind of nice.
Well, Ryan's like a bonehead.
Yeah, I'm a bonehead. I'm not really,
I like that this episode is great trailers too. And on our first trailer, Ryan was like, "I hated it. I thought it was terrible."
I couldn't read anything.
I couldn't keep up with the text.
Too many words, too fast.
I couldn't keep up with the text. It's so true.
You want some pickups? I just say that again.
And then he tried to backtrack it too.
He backpedaled a little bit.
That was a tough trailer to follow.
You're not wrong.
Come on.
You're not wrong. It's for more advanced people.
And as always,
thanks, guys.
did you say like and subscribe? Okay,
like and
great.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And until later on, until the next episode,
Gentlemen.
to evil.
To evil.
Cheers, guys.